This is just your daily reminder to treat people with respect, be kind to one another, treat others the way you want to be treated. I hope you have a good day.
Oh, it's the Can't Get Any Words podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well. Wow, what an opening clip. That has oh, Lord. It has been an absolute morning. Let's just say that. And I will rip in to what exactly has gone on this morning. But first, let's fucking go through this opening clip. Let's hit play on this guy again.
This is just your daily reminder to treat people with respect.
100%.
Be kind to one another.
For sure.
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
All right.
I hope you have a good day.
Thank you, kind sir. I mean, the video opened up as like a nice gesture. Like I felt seen and appreciated. I was like, you know what? I will have a good day. And then out of nowhere, he just has to start thrusting us. He just starts making love to us out of nowhere. Like, keep it PG, buddy. Just give us some like flowers or something like a normal person. Jesus Christ. I feel violated. This dude just fucked me on a Monday morning. As the great Eric Cartman once said, if you're going to fuck me, at least buy me dinner first. So anyway, guys, let's rip in. I hope we're all well. Like I said, my morning has been a complete fucking shambles, but let's break it down. It is school holidays. I don't know if any parents out there have got the little ones home. Every week this camera is slightly off, but that's all right. That's what it is this week. It is what it is. We're just going to push through. So yeah, I've got Westy home today with me. He is on the other side of this wall playing what they call Italian brain rot. Holy shit. It is the most irritating, frustrating game in the world. Any parents that have their kids playing that, you probably understand. I hate it because every character and stuff is like, I don't know, like it's an annoying name in somewhat with like an Italian sprinkle. Like I'm trying to think of a name. Like I think there's someone like I can't think of any right now, but Google it if you're actually interested. But something Nikita, like it's irritated Nikita and I for the last few weeks. But now Westy says shit. And it's like, oh my God, he's like developed like an Italian twang. Like if he started to learn the Italian language, he'd like have a good, what's the word? Like the accent or whatever. So I don't know, maybe we try and push him in that direction and maybe all these computer games might pay off for something when he takes us to Italy one day. Hopefully that happens soon. But yeah, the unlucky one is Parker. He had to go to Kindy today. And look, I was about this close to saying, all right, stay home, buddy. I do not feel like dealing with this morning. So here's coming off the back of a 9-day off Kindy stint, okay? You could imagine if you've stopped doing something for 9 days, it's very hard to get back into that routine. And this morning was the morning where he had to go back into routine and it was just fucking tantrums galore. And oh God, it was frustrating. You'd put his shoes and socks on, he'd rip them off, throw them away, put his shirt on, rip it off, throw it away. Parker, brush your teeth, throw his toothbrush. Oh, testing. But finally got him in the car. Before that, I got the bag packed, I got his shoes on, I got him dressed. He's still throwing a tantrum. He's hiding under the covers of his bed as if I don't know where he is. And I'm like, all right, I'll take his school bag out. I'll put it in the car. So the last thing I have to do is carry him kicking and screaming to the car. And I've walked out to the car, opened the door, put the bag in. Now, I park my ute under a bunch of trees out the side of my house, okay? And we've come into the season where these trees have blossomed. They like sprout this little red flower thing, and rainbow lorikeets fucking love it. Now, we obviously don't mind the lorikeets hanging around. They're one of the prettier birds, if you will. So we quite like them having there. Now, the downside of that is my car. I washed my car on Friday. It now looks like I have not washed it for about 17 years. They just shit and piss all over it. Now, I've put Parker's bag in the back seat, and as I've like pulled my body back out of the car, I just hear a heap of lorikeets squawking and fucking making noise above me. And then I proceed to just feel a bunch of dampness hit my head, my shoulders, my entire body, and these disgusting fucking lorikeets have just shat and pissed all over me. It was the breaking point, guys. It was the breaking point. I don't know if I've ever shut a car door harder, and I've just... Oh, God. Again, parents listening, I don't know if you've had one of these moments where you're just in that fit of rage. So I've slammed the door. I'm like, oh, fucking... I'm yelling at the birds. I would look like a crazy person to anyone watching. But I would have appeared no crazier than the one person I turned around and saw, Westy, just standing out the front door looking at his dad going nuts at a bunch of birds, now covered in shit and piss. How am I supposed to discipline someone when you're covered in shit and piss and he's just seen you be humiliated by a tiny little bird? I felt like, what was that cartoon from when I was a kid? Tweety Bird. You know how Tweety Bird used to go around and just cause all mischief? I felt like I was in a real-life Looney Tunes cartoon this morning. So, yeah, it has been a morning, but now I'm here, guys. I'm here to grace you guys with some probably more humiliating stories, to be honest, and just some downright nonsense of what is going on in my week. So I'll take a little sip and then we'll rip into our first chat. Oh, back on the water today, Celsius. Celsius is playing hard to get, guys. Anyone listening, I think you might have to go to the Celsius Instagram page and just tag Can't Get Any Worse in their comments. Oh, just tag Can't Get Any Worse, guys. We'll get this sponsorship in one way or another. They'll probably pay us to just shut the fuck up. But I suppose let's kick off with the big one. Mentioned last week, I was flying down to Sydney to jump on the Two Piss Kents podcast. You will probably notice this snazzy hat that I've got on my head. The boys were nice enough. They gave me this hat. They gave me a stubby cooler I've got up on the shelf there. Gave me like fucking 20 stickers. Really looked after me. Took me out to dinner and shit. So shout out to those guys. It was nice to finally, like, I've been going like back and forth with them on socials, but it's always good to put a face to the name in real life. So yeah, it was a cracking trip. Absolute fucking blast. But if you did listen to the Two Piss Kents podcast, you'll already know this story, but I've got to bring it to my own listeners. I've been a pretty big advocate over the time of this podcast that I have never shit my pants. And to be fair, I've never really come close to it either. I've never really understood the whole thing, okay? And last Monday, when I flew out, it almost happened, guys. It didn't quite happen, but by God, it was. If I was literally a millisecond later, the whole trip would have been cancelled. I would have shit my pants in the middle of Brisbane Airport. Like, I got the feeling about halfway to the airport. Like, I went to gym before the flight, got in the car, had my protein shake, and I don't know, every now and then a protein shake just doesn't sit right with you, okay? I don't want to get all graphic and shit like that with you guys this early in the morning, but yeah, I got that feeling about halfway to the airport, and I was like, oh, this is not good. And it was like, should I pull up somewhere? Should I try and pull up and just fucking get it out of my system? But I'm like, nah. Like, I was pretty well running right on schedule, and I'm like, nah, you just got to push through, park the car, and as I got in the car park, like, where I usually park was just packed. So I've had to go up like 6 stories, try and find one, and finally found one, and I'm just power walking as fast as I can to the airport. Then the escalator's broken. It was just literally just a sequence of events. It was like the universe just wanted me to shit myself for the first time. And when I finally made it to the toilet, guys, it was literally one motion. I like turned the dial on the back of the door, dumped my bags on the piss-covered floor. Like, oh, it was disgusting. But I was like, I've got no other option. And in the exact motion of me bending my body to sit down on the toilet, magic happened, okay? Magic happened. And like I said, if I was a millisecond later, I would not have gone to Sydney. I would not have met those lovely blokes down there in Sydney. But yeah, my Lord. Then I finally got to Sydney. How's this? How's this for like small world shit, okay? I did a gig the Sunday night before I flew out. I actually forgot to put that in my my week of comedy, actually. I forgot we didn't touch on that last week. I'll try remember it. But yeah, did a gig at the casino on the Sunday night. The headliner was Angus Gordon, who's fucking hilarious. And he was on my flight to Sydney, right? So I was like, oh, hey, mate, how you going? Just in passing. And then landed in Sydney, got off the plane. As I'm walking out of the plane, I see Brisbane comedian Liam Daly about to board his plane. And it's like, geez, small world. 2 comedians in the fucking, you know what I'm trying to say. Words are not coming, guys. I'm still thinking about just being completely destroyed by lorikeets this morning. Anyway, the next story. I decided to, well, actually, Nikita decided to, and hats off to her for having this idea. It was actually pretty good. Like, since I started comedy and podcasting and stuff, I've been like trying to lure Nikita into the world of like management. I'm like, oh, you could be my manager. How fun would that be? You just stay at home with the kids and you book my flights, you book my gigs, you book everything, and I just have to go around and make it all happen. She's like, oh, it doesn't really interest me. And I'm like, oh, look at like anyone that knows Bert Kreischer, one of his managers is his wife Leanne. And it just seems to like work for them. And I'm like, fuck, that seems so good to just have someone that can do all that shit for you. So Nikita pretty much sorted my whole Sydney trip for me, and it was so good. Everything. I just had everything uploaded on my phone, the flight tickets, the fucking car rental thing, everything, the hotel thing. I just had to rock up and be the stupidest person in the world and be like, oh, I hope this is for me. But anyway, I land, I book into the hire car place, and it's taking longer than I would like, okay? So we get into that awkward small talk situation, and everyone knows that I hate making small talk. Nikita, this is the other thing. Nikita goes, oh, when I was booking it, the cheapest thing to get was a Swift. Would you be okay with a Swift? And I'm like, I literally could not give a fuck. Like, I will literally be driving it from the airport to my hotel, from the hotel to the podcast, and then back. So I go, just whatever, get me an electric bike at this stage. So I rock up, and he's like, oh, we got no Swifts. And I'm like, that's all right. What do you got? And he goes, oh, I got a Hyundai Tucson. And I was like, okay, sweet. No dramas. Is it the same price? He's like, yeah, we'll give it to you for the same price. So cruised around in a brand new Hyundai Tucson. Pretty fucking snazzy, to be honest. I was blown away. My mum's got a Tucson, a couple of years old, but this one was like the next model up. And Jesus Christ, all the like gizmos and gadgets and shit in it took me about 20 minutes to work out how to pull it out of the hire car place. And it had this cool thing. It basically drove itself back from the podcast, like late at night at 10:30 or whenever I left out there, because it had obviously cruise control, which pretty much every car has these days. And then it had like lane control or whatever. So I literally just set cruise control, set the lane control, and this thing was literally steering itself. It was adjusting to all the new speed limits. It was fucking blew my mind. Anyway, like I said, this check-in thing's taking a little longer than I'd like. So this guy starts going, what brings you to Sydney? And my brain was not thinking quick enough this early on a Monday morning. And I should have just said work or fucking anything really. But my dumb ass goes, oh, I'm here to do a podcast. Straight away, this guy's, oh, cool. Are you like an influencer or something, are you? I'm like, no, definitely not. I am far from that. I am literally a nobody. He goes, oh, surely you're somebody if you've flown all the way to Sydney. If you've flown all the way to Sydney to do a podcast. And I'm like, nah, this is all of my dime. I'm just fucking coming here hoping to sell a couple of tickets to my solo show. And he's like, solo show? What's your solo show? Like a live podcast? And then I'm like, fuck. No, I do stand-up as well. Wow, stand-up and podcasting. That's unreal. Yeah, I guess. What's your Instagram? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I've got like no followers. He's like, it's all right. We've all got to start somewhere. What's your Instagram? I'll give you a quick follow. And I'm like, fuck. So then I think something popped up on his screen. So I avoided giving him my Instagram. Anyway, we continue to check in. And then he goes, oh, all good. I've got your name on file anyway. So I'll just look you up later. And I'm like, fuck, you dog. So shout out to you if you're listening, guy that gave me my fucking Tucson while I was in Sydney. In that moment, I'd never wanted to be a cabinet maker more in my life. Just, it would have been so simple if I was like, yeah, I'm just a cabinet maker, mate. And then it would have been silence until he checked me in. But I had to say that, and then I just fucking, the whole conversation, I was just like, buddy, give me my Hyundai and let me leave in shame. Jesus. God, I need a sip after that. got me all angry. Anyway, I proceed to go do the podcast. Like I said, cracking boys. That episode's out now. Go give it a listen on the Two Piss Kents podcast. Yeah, just fucking hilarious, boys. It felt natural. The whole conversation flowed. It was, one of the funnest podcasts I've been on. So go give it a listen. And after I left the podcast, I'm cruising back. And before because the drive home was where I figured out all that self-driving shit. So before I did that, it was literally like 2 minutes from their studio. And I'm at like a intersection where I can enter the intersection and there's lights and shit. And I see the lights start to turn orange. So I'm like, okay, sweet. And there was no car coming through the intersection. So I'm like, okay, I'll just fucking drive on. And as I've entered, I just see this fucking cop car flooring it through the lights. And then as I've pulled out, they've had to like slam their brakes on. And I'm like, fuck. That is the last person in the world you want to be cutting off at an intersection. And I'm just driving now. My hands are clenched on the wheel. I'm like, this is worst case scenario. I'm going to get a fucking ticket in Sydney. This trip's going to cost me even more than it already had. And I'm just driving, waiting for the sirens to come on. I'm thinking they're doing their checks and shit because they're just not putting it on. And then about 5 minutes later, they just turn away. And I'm like, thank fuck. Like, I haven't been so scared in a very long time. But the only thing I can assume is like, I reckon he ran through. I reckon he ran the red light for sure because like it was orange for a long time. Like it was literally about to turn red, and that's why I went through. And yeah, I reckon he was like, he wouldn't have had an argument if I was like, oh well, the light was red before you floored it through, and he would have been like, fuck. You're going to jail, buddy. Stop being a fucking smart ass. But shout out to all the nice cops out there. It's always good when you get a nice cop and just you do something sneaky and they acknowledge it. They go, look, you're in the wrong, and perhaps in this moment I'm also in the wrong, but proceed on with your night. Go back to wherever the fuck you're from. So then the next day, got back to the airport and I saw potentially one of the most annoying people I have ever met. I get into like the airport fucking lounge thing, whatever you call it. I'm sitting there, I'm playing on my laptop, playing on my phone, doing whatever. And along comes this guy and he just sits next to me. And look, how do I describe this guy? He's a less than desirable man to be sitting next to. Here we go. Here's a good way to explain it. Now, it turns out it can get worse clips. He was basically one of those type of guys, okay? Oh, he's forgot to turn notifications off again. Anyway, this guy sits beside me, and at first it's not too bad. Like, yeah, it's annoying he's sitting next to me, but he hasn't made himself a nuisance yet. Until his phone rang. Now, I'm like, okay, no worries. Everyone's phone's allowed to ring. But this guy puts it on speaker, and I'm like, okay, now I'm getting irritated. Now I'm getting angry, okay? You don't want to see me when I'm angry. Now, this guy says hello, which is fine. It's a normal greeting. But for the remainder of the conversation, the only word that he said, and this conversation went on for minimum 3 minutes, potentially even longer. But he said, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He just kept saying, okay, in different fucking tones and lengths. And I was so fucking irritated. And I was just like, mate, say something else. Like, oh, God. I can't even convey how fucking angry it made me. But it was like, buddy, get a fucking better catchphrase. Like, my Lord, it irritated me. And then it only got worse, guys. I got on the plane, and I think if you have a important job in society, like let's think of what important jobs are in society at the moment. Doctor, pretty fucking important. Police officer that we just mentioned before, pretty important. Pilot, I would put them up there as having a pretty fucking important job as well, okay? I want my pilots to be dialed in, paying attention at all times, just ready to fucking go. Now we get on the plane, plane's about to take off. We do the whole fucking in-flight safety thing. And then all of a sudden, the pilot comes over the loudspeaker and he's like, hello, this is Jerry here. I am your co-pilot today. Straight away, I'm like, why the fuck's the co-pilot on the mic? And he goes, your pilot today is Georgia, but Georgia doesn't feel like jumping on the mic. She's a little bit nervous to talk to you fine folk today. Georgia, how about you grow the fuck up? And part of being the pilot is to jump on the mic and let us all feel safe, okay? Straight away, I felt so unsafe. I'm like, why doesn't Georgia want to talk to us? Is she having a panic attack up there? What is going on right now? And then he proceeds to laugh, and then he signs off. He goes, hopefully Georgia feels a little bit safer further into the flight, and she jumps on and has a chat to you guys. Don't fucking laugh into the microphone. Don't laugh into the pilot microphone, okay? My Lord, I was gripping my armrest so tight. And then the same deal. They're like, get you ready for landing or whatever, and he jumps on. He's like, Georgia's still a little bit nervous to talk to you guys, so I'm back again. And it's like, bro, what is Georgia going to do if the fucking plane malfunctions and it just starts nosediving down towards the earth? Is Georgia going to be too nervous to fucking try and land the plane? Is she just going to put her hands up in the air and go, oh, you've got to do this as well? My Lord, people are fucking soft these days. That is a good rant that I had on the Two Piss Cants podcast this week about how soft the younger generation is. So if you're a fucking pilot listening to this, do your own safety breachings. Let me have a sip and then we'll get into another clip. Oh, now this clip perfectly ties in because I actually got it from, what was the page called? It was like something about Sydney Transport or some shit. It was fucking, just couldn't have been more perfect. So let's hit play.
Brother, you don't fuck on the bus, mate. I don't care if you're fucking homeless. Don't fuck on the bus, cunt. I don't care if you've got autism. It doesn't mean fuck on the bus. Get the fuck off and go fuck in the park or something, you fucking chat. Have some fucking respect for yourselves, you fucking chatty cunts.
Yeah, go fuck in the park like the rest of us degenerates, you fucking sick fuck. I don't care if you've got autism. I don't care if you're homeless. You don't fuck on the bus. Oh God, what a fucking clip. That made me laugh when I first saw it pop up. I think the tag was even there. Couldn't be fucked. But yeah, that's Sydney public transport for you. I've never been so thankful that I ended up getting a hire car in my life. But caught up with another couple of legends this week. I actually caught up with so many fucking legends this week. Let's rattle them all off before we get into this next story. Last week I spoke about the Honestly Honest Boys. That podcast is out now. Who else did I see this week? I saw the Overworked and Underfucked podcast. Those boys gave me a stubby cooler as well. It's up there somewhere. I feel like there's someone else. What else did I do? I think it was just like comedians and shit. Fucking, I was on a couple of gigs with some like Melbourne comics and yada, yada, yada. So I've what's the word? Like kissed a lot of babies and shaken a lot of hands this week. I don't fucking know. But, friend of the show from Rocky, Jesse Parkin from Parkin Watches, previous guest of the show. He flew down to the Gold Coast on Friday for he had some sort of work meeting or something like that. So we organised fucking a while ago now to all catch up and have dinner on Friday night. And it was all a bit up in the air, like the whole day of how it was going to go about and shit. So originally, Ty was supposed to pick me up about 4 o'clock or something, and then we're going to go down together. But then Matty fucking let us all know on like Friday morning that he had cricket that day. Cricket's fucking gay, by the way. We'll get to it. And all of a sudden, now Ty's picking Jesse up from the airport or some shit, and then they're driving down to the Gold Coast early for Jesse's meeting. It just turned into a big shambles, right? Now I'm sitting at home, hanging out with the wife and kids, and at this stage, Matty's still playing his cricket game, and he wins the first game, which means they've got to go into a second game or something. And guys, I don't know if I've made this obvious. I fucking hate cricket. So I'm sitting at home and I'm like, oh, the boys will let me know when the cricket's done, and then I'll cruise down the M1. And I send in the group chat, I'm like, do we have a time yet? Do we know when when Matty's going to finish cricket? And Ty puts in the group chat, come now or something like that. So I'm like, oh, the cricket must be over. All right, quickly get dressed, jump in the car, sit in the traffic all the way down the M1, get there, and Maddie's fucking balls deep in a cricket game. Oh, God. It was the most boring shit I've ever fucking watched. Oh, over 60s cricket or whatever the fuck he plays. My Lord. We need to make it more entertaining somehow. You know the most entertaining thing I saw at the cricket? I got there and I sat in the car for about 5 minutes before I walked in, and I was watching, like, I wasn't really watching it, but there was another cricket game happening in front of me. And the funnest thing was just watching one of the fielders. Are they called fielders in cricket? I don't fucking know. Just watching one of them in, like, the outfield just getting absolutely mauled by these magpies. Like, he was having the worst time ever, but I was having the best time ever. So shout out to that guy, just providing me with some 10 out of 10 entertainment at the cricket. So if I was promised a magpie attack at every cricket match, I'd probably fucking start getting into cricket, okay? But speaking about magpies, I mentioned that I've been taking the boys on dog walks and stuff as of late. They have started to enjoy it a lot less now that it is now magpie season. They've discovered it, how much of a scary world it is out there with these little demon birds just wanting to kill us. So they've basically realized that the world is a real life horror film, and every dog walk is just it's pretty much just a game of Russian roulette. You never know when you're going to get swooped. So the boys only come to like every second walk now. So anyone that's got any tips to keep magpies away, let me know. But yeah, then we proceeded to go out to dinner. We were supposed to go to Brazilian barbecue, but Surfers Paradise. It was first night of school holidays, so it was just chaos. So we just ended up going to longboards and having quite a nice burger, if I do say. So Maddie paid as well. So shout out to Maddie, fucking looking after all these little bitches there. So I don't know. Look, I'll say I was the first to leave. I don't know what the other boys got up to after to pay for their meals. I'm not going to insinuate that maybe the three of them had a bit of a three-way in the back of Ty's van, but it's very probable, okay? It's very probable. But let's get on to it. It's been a while since I have told a story about my lovely wife on here, and this made me fucking, to be fair, this probably happened last week or something, but then she reminded me of it this week, and I'm like, fuck, I never brought that to the podcast. So everyone knows I'm stressing the fuck out about the solo show at the moment, right? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know how I'm going to learn this hour. I'm just stressing so hard about it. I can't remember the material, yada, yada, yada. And Nikita goes to me, she goes, well, why don't you just use palm cards? And I'm like, it's like, I don't know, like I get, sure. And like, I'll probably do that. I'll probably have my notebook on the stool behind me or something. So when I take a sip of water or something, I can take a quick peep at my cheat sheet and I'll know exactly where I'm up to and where I'm heading to. So I go, oh, I suppose you can do palm cards, but it's kind of like frowned upon. Like no one wants to go and watch a comedian with palm cards. You know what I mean? And and I go, she goes, oh, well, let me know if you do want palm cards and I'll cut some up for you. And I'm like, oh, it's all good. Like I'll just go buy some. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'll just go to like the newsagents and buy some palm cards or something. And she's like, can you buy palm cards? And I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? And she's like, my family used to make me cut up like the tea bag box and make that into small little palm cards. She's like, I never knew you could just go out and buy palm cards. Oh God, I felt so bad for her. Sometimes she says shit and I'm just like, oh, I feel bad for you. Like some of the stuff. She told me a story like a couple months ago. It can never come to the podcast. If she ever comes on again, I'll hit her up on the podcast and see if she wants to share, but it just made me laugh so fucking hard. And we went around to her sister's house. I'm like, is this story true? And she's like, 100%. So anyway, yeah, palm cards. You can buy them from newsagents, guys. I know the economy is at a low point, but you can still buy palm cards. We don't have to cut up tea bag boxes. Tea bag boxes. That could be a fun, like, it sounds like a seedy episode title, but it's not. Anyway, for the second time, I would like to announce that I discovered a tick in my beard this week. Went to shave my beard for a gig on like Thursday night or something. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what's that? And I thought it was like a pimple. And I'm like, oh, cool. This feels like a nice juicy pimple to squeeze pre-gig. This will give me some satisfaction. And as I've gone to relocate it again, this little thing has just popped off onto my thumb and I've pulled my hand away. I've gone, what the fuck? and there's this giant tick just sitting on my thumb, and I'm like, cool. At this point, either I'm just like some sort of disgusting feral, or I'm just like the Dr. Dolittle of Brisbane. Who fucking knows? I'm just walking around the flats of Brisbane just attracting wildlife onto my disgusting beard here. So I did mention that I was using some beard oils and shit like that. As suspected, that is well and truly gone out the window. I've not applied any beard oil in probably a month now. Just another task that I didn't need in my life, okay? Nobody's feeling my beard. Like, can you guys hear this? I'll scratch my beard into the mic right now just for you guys to listen to. It actually sounds kind of soft. I think that's because I gave it a trim last night. So what else have we got happening? Oh, yeah. All right. Here's one for you. As I mentioned, Parker pretty much had all last week off being sick. And Westy caught the sickness on like Thursday, Friday. So they both had school off on Friday, and Nikita had an appointment. So she's like, can I drop the boys off at your work? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just in the office doing quotes and shit today anyway. So drop them off, bring them some lunch or something, bring their iPads. They can occupy themselves in the corner of the office. And they're chilling. They're doing their own thing. I'm trying to work. And then all of a sudden, Westy walks up to my tinted window that I told you guys about last week. And he looks out and he's like, oh my God, that's so sick. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, oh, the car out there. And I'm like, oh, is it the black convertible? He's like, yeah, it's crazy. So the people that work beside us, they've got like a convertible Mustang, and it's pretty cool, I suppose. And he's standing there just drooling over this thing with his face pressed against the window. And then all of a sudden their second car drives in that they've only had it for like a month or something. But it's like I forget what it's called, but it's like the Jeep Ute. I don't know if you guys have seen them cruising around. They do look pretty tough. And this one, they just got every fucking accessory you could imagine on it, okay? It's lifted like as high as you can lift a car. It's got big mud tires on it, but with cool rims inside it. And then they've got it wrapped in this like cool bronze matte kind of color. It's fucking sick, okay? I'll give them that. It's an unreal car. So now Parker and Weston are just pressed against the window, and they're just like, oh, that's so cool. There's so many cool cars at Dad's work. And then Parker just goes, yeah, and then look how disgusting Dad's car is. Oh, God. I was like, hey, how dare you talk about the fucking Navara like that, okay? That is a work of art. That is one of the most fucking reliable vehicles on the road, okay? Why are we glorifying Jeeps, okay? It's a fucking glorified hairdresser's car, okay? Don't worship that. I was so offended. But shortly after this, anyone that follows me on socials, you would have seen this on my personal story. Wesley's still standing at the door, probably admiring these vehicles still. And he just goes, is that a real snake? And I've gone, oh, here we go. He's probably seen a stick or something. Now, we have had a snake at work before. It was just this big fucking giant python. Adrian dealt with it pretty quickly because he's weird and obsessed with snakes. Now, I look out my window. This one is certainly not a python. We have a brown snake, a big, fat brown snake just slithering across the car park, heading directly for my office. And I was like, yep, that's a real snake. And he's gone, oh, okay, is it dangerous? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. Like, probably one of the most dangerous ones. So this is less than ideal. So we're watching it, and I'm like, what do I do right now? Like, I don't really feel like dealing with this snake on a Friday afternoon. So we watch it slither. It comes right up to my office door and like does the whole like slither up the glass thing. And I'm like, I'm petrified now. I'm so scared. Both the boys are freaking out. So I go out, like there's 2 doors into my office. I go out the second door. I yell out to my boss. I'm like, hey, you've got something down here you might need to deal with. Just fully passing the buck, making it his issue. And he goes, oh, what is it? I go, oh, there's a brown snake out there. I'm pretty sure it just crawled into our other shed. So we go looking, and sure enough, this thing is in the other shed. And, yeah, it is fucking just ready to attack people. So I pretty much made it my boss's problem and another guy that was there. I'm like, oh, I've got to stay in the office. I got the kids, guys. I can't be part of this. So still to this moment, I do not know if they ended up catching the snake because my finish time rolled around, and I was like, well, I've got to go, guys. Good luck with the snake. So who knows? I'll probably go to work on Tuesday and just get bitten by an eastern brown that's now found its home in my office. So, yeah, it was very petrifying. Kind of made me want to quit my job even more now that we've just got snakes cruising around. Last little story of the week. This one made me chuckle. I was cruising home from a gig the other night, and I just got that hunger feeling. So I called Nikita, and I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to get a cheeky snack on the way home. Do you want anything? And she's like, oh, no, I'm good. And I was like, okay, sweet. There's a KFC right near my house, and I was like, oh, that would hit the spot. So I go there, place my order. I just go, hey, can I just get a large tenders box? And the guy goes, yeah, no worries. Pull around, and this guy, I've seen him a few times in my KFC career as of late, and he's relatively new there, and he's this cool looking, like, he's either just about to finish high school or he's just got out of high school, and he's seeing what the real world's about, all right? He's just hit the workforce, and he's got his KFC bucket hat on, and outside of his shirt, he's just got this giant chain with a cross on it, okay? Similar to the one I described P wanted a few weeks ago. And this dude he fully listens to like rap and hip hop and shit, and he just admires that culture, if you know what I mean. And he just looks at me, he's like, oh, that'll be fucking $15 or whatever it was. I'm like, sweet, thanks, pay for it. He gives me my sauces, my aioli. He goes, hey, want a couple of extra sauces? And I've gone, sure. And I'm like thinking he'll sneak me one extra one or something. And I go, all right, no worries. Here you go. Reaches down into the box of sauce and then hands me fucking 15 garlic aioli sauces. And he just whispers, he goes, hide them under your gym bag before you get to the next window so I don't get in trouble. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. My local KFC is now fucking covering as a drug operation or something, or he's just handed me 15 expired garlic aiolis and I'm about to get viciously ill once I eat them. But shout out to you at my local KFC if you listen to this. Oh God, let's play another clip before we do rip into my week in comedy, because I can feel my voice getting hoarse. Oh my God, I hope those notifications don't keep coming through. They are, aren't they? Let me one sec, guys. Let me play with this on the fly. How do you silence notifications? Here we go. Sound settings. My Lord, this will be some good listening. This will be some really good listening, guys. I don't know. Let's just hope that they stop blowing up the group chat for 2 seconds. Let's hit play on this one. This video fucking petrifies me for someone who regularly uses power tools. Oh my Lord. That type of shit literally just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Just a bloke trying to give a haircut with an angle grinder almost rips his entire fucking scalp off. Like, just be normal. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get haircuts for like $20 at Just Cuts these days. Like, it's not worth it's not worth copping a fucking angle grinder to the back of the head just to save a couple of bucks. But oh God, that stuff makes me cringe. Anyway, let's get into my week in comedy. I ended up bailing on the Soul Bar gig on the Tuesday. I was wrecked by the time I flew in and shit like that. So didn't end up going there. Sorry to anyone that did make the drive there to watch me do some comedy. But I got a late call up for the Henchman, which, look, the universe works in weird ways. I pulled out of that one and got a replacement one a little closer to home. And on the same night, I already had a gig down the coast. So it worked out all well, took the spot. And it was actually so the Henchman is a bit of like a competition every week. And it was meant to be the winner of every month. So because I was the runner-up of the one that I did, the room runner was like, oh, you come and fill in for the person that pulled out. And I was like, yeah, sweet. No worries. Let's do it. So went down there and, look, didn't crush, didn't bomb, just had one of those like mid-range gigs, like one that you're happy enough to cruise to the next one. Then the next gig I had was a Prey Surf down at Burleigh. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully this is like my big crush. Got there and the place was packed, like people out the door. Probably one of the most full I've ever seen the place, to be honest. And straight away it was pretty obvious, like 90% of them weren't there for comedy. They were just there for a fun dinner. They were all chatting. It was loud as shit in there, okay? You could not hear a thing. So I just got up there and I just pushed through my set. I was going to try a new joke or something down there, but it just like, it would not have hit, and I just would have got so depressed about the joke not working that I was just like, it's just going to be safer to go on autopilot, push through the material, and just fucking, get out of there. But I'm back at a Prey this week, so it'll be my redemption arc this week. See how I go there this week. But then we backed it up again. Sunny's at Margate on Saturday. And look, one of the funnest gigs we've had there since we've been doing it at Margate. The crowd was just up for it. And I've noticed probably the last 3 Margate gigs, I've said that. So I'm hoping that we've found like our audience out there. So yeah, cracking gig. Venue was stoked. Acts was stoked. There was a like fun little story from it. Front row, there was a very elderly lady there, okay? White hair. And I was just like, fuck, she is going to hate my material. And as soon as I started, she was pissing her pants laughing. And I was like, thank God. Like I understand the older generation. Sometimes a lot of them do like the dirtier stuff. But to paint a picture of this lady, like she just seemed like the nicest, most innocent grandmother who just would not buy into my shit. But she loved it. As I was packing up my gear, she came over. She's like, oh, I loved your stuff. You were the funniest one. Oh, I fucking enjoyed it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, love hearing shit like that. So never judge a book by its cover. So, then last night, Distillery Road Market. So another packed out night there. Crazy lineup. We had Lindsay Webb headline it, which he is one of the best in the scene to be doing it at the moment. So he destroyed the place, one of the biggest crushes I've heard there. And just another fun gig. Same deal. Exactly same deal as Sunny's. Venue loved it. The acts loved it. Crowd loved it. Crowd seemed to be the venue. The manager came up to me. He's like, wow, this is one of the most receptive crowds we've had. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. So fun times. So both those gigs, they're going to keep going for the foreseeable future. I think those are all the gigs I had to touch on. I had the casino gig the week before that we didn't touch on, but to be honest, I don't really remember how it went, so no point touching on it. Anyway, let's get into another clip before we jump onto my recs for the week. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. All right. Oh, fuck, where did that go? Drag. Let's go. All right, hit play.
I had a girlfriend small enough that she could like crawl into my foreskin and hide there. I think it would be really cozy and I think she'd feel really loved. Also, I need to grow back my foreskin.
Oh my God. Bloke just looking for tenants for his foreskin that just doesn't exist. Just begging girls to go sleep in his foreskin. Oh, Lord. That's fucking weird. We play some weird shit on here. But, my recommendations for the week. I've really only consumed one thing this week other than my usual podcasts and stuff. Podcast of the week would probably be Louis C.K. was on Theo's podcast, and it was just a good chat of them breaking down comedy, and then they went into like a bit of a deep like mental health and addiction fucking chat as well. So cool to hear two of the goats just having a good old chat to each other. But the one thing I did watch this week was the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix, and holy shit, if you haven't seen it, go give it a watch. It is so good. It is just brutally honest. It's so well shot. Just watching a legend of our time go through what is definitely the worst period of his life, like battling addiction, just everything. It is insane to see flashbacks of like how he was living, how many drugs and fucking shit he was consuming. And yeah, it was nuts just to see him sitting there, just telling the raw, honest truth, and then friends and family butting in, giving their side of things. And yeah, it was insane. So go give that a watch. I think it's called AKA Charlie Sheen on Netflix. Funny clip of the week, guys. Let's give it a play. It's just a short, sharp, quick one this week from one of the look, this guy has definitely sold himself as one of the best dark comedians out there. So it does have a dark twist at the end, but it's exactly what we're here for. So Anthony Jeselnik, let's go.
In a bar the other night, saw my favorite porn star of all time sitting at the end of the bar by herself. I couldn't believe it. I called the bartender, go, hey man, I'll have another beer. And see that girl down there? She shouldn't be here. She's 13.
Fucking hell. So dark. But yeah, just the old bait and switch. So good. He is so good at that. And like the misdirections and stuff. So shout out to Anthony Jeselnik. Shows for the week. I am supposed to have a guest episode again this week. It is supposed to be happening today, but this guest has a very full schedule. And like, if we make this podcast happen this week, to be honest, I'd be very surprised. But yeah, I'm hoping if we don't get it recorded today, apparently they've got a bit of free time tomorrow. So I'm not going to say who it is in case it doesn't eventuate. But yeah, if you do see a guest episode drop on Thursday, give it a listen because I am genuinely excited to have a chat to this person. And it's probably 6 to 8 months in the making of trying to make this podcast come to fruition. So other than that, guys, gigs this week, I have a Prey Surf again down at Burleigh on Thursday the 25th. Other than that, I'll just be working on the solo show, which I fucking need to. Grab some tickets. I've checked in with the venue. Sold a few more from last week, so I am pretty stoked. Also did a post on Blokes Advice last night, which blew up. I think it had like fucking 130 likes or something and a fuckload of comments, which I've got to reply to again when I get off here. But the other one, the next West Park shows, the Orion Hotel October 10th, and then I believe the next Sunny's show is October 18th, but don't quote me. Check their Facebook. It'll all be live on there this week. Then the big one, guys, October 7th, Good Chat Comedy Club. We have Epiphany, my debut comedy show will be happening. So grab the tickets. I hope to get as many fucking listeners of the podcast there just to support and have a laugh and just either see me bomb or see me do well. Either way, it'll be a fucking laugh. So I appreciate all you guys for listening. If you have anything you want to submit to the show, send it via DM on Instagram at CantGetAnyWorsePodcast or send me an email at CantGetAnyWorsepod@gmail.com. I would love to keep the back and forth banter with you guys flowing at the moment. And yeah, we're growing slow and steady. We're pretty much for the last maybe 3 months or so, the analytics or whatever, they've been like in the green. So we're on a slow and steady incline. So I appreciate you all that are listening to this and liking it. Share it with a friend this week. Let's try and keep growing while we've got this momentum behind us. But yeah, appreciate you all, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. It's all